What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this conversation. All right, guys, so let's continue this conversation when it comes to this lawsuit, this groundbreaking $260 million lawsuit. First, I want to say the number. We already know that when it comes to lawsuits, especially lawsuits like these, they're always going to go for a high dollar amount because the chances of that person winning or getting a settlement is probably higher than not. But you want to go for a higher dollar amount to get to a number that both parties are going to be agreeable to if you get to a mediation or settlement. And then, of course, if it gets into the hands of a jury and they find Tyler Perry guilty, then a lot of times the jury award compensatory and punitive damages are probably going to be either close to that number or maybe exceeding that. But anyway, this isn't about the dollar amount. I wanted to just talk about this for a minute and I want to get your thoughts on it because I'm seeing a lot of things about, well, this is a black man being sued by a white man. He should have never laid down with flour. When you lay down with flour, you lose your power. I've seen comments like that. And some of the stuff is honestly is kind of funny, but in the grand scheme of things, I know that there was a lot of flack, and I even talked about it when Christian Keys came out last year. And it was on the heels of the Cassie situation. And he was pretty much trying to come off of the men can be victims too. And yes, we know this. Men definitely can be victims too. And honestly, a lot of times the men who are victims of other men. Let's be clear. But this isn't about that either. But I am definitely saying that Christian Keys got a lot of flack, and I talked about it last year because I really, initially, a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, he's so brave and he's so strong," and and whatnot about him coming out to reveal that he was hit on, groped, all of the other stuff, right? But never coming out to say who did it, putting a name on it. And I said then and there that because of the identifying key factors that he placed, most people were going to assume that he was talking about Tyler Perry. So if he wasn't talking about Tyler Perry, he really needed to say who it was because all of the anonymous stuff, it was just annoying. And that's what I came out to say. And I really, at first, because I did it almost immediately, and I don't want to say felt bad, but I was just feeling some type of way about putting that out there because at the time, it was right after he put that out there. And I felt like most of the people were just feeling so sorry for him. And it's like, oh my God, I cannot believe that he went through something like this. And I just was focused on the fact that he was labeling this person as a black billionaire, someone that he's worked with before. How many black billionaires do you know of? One, and two, that are in that industry that he works in. So I was just like, most people are going to assume you're talking about Tyler Perry. So let us know who it is if you're going to put all of this information out there. And some people in the comment sections on today's blogs are saying, he said it wasn't Tyler Perry. He never said it wasn't. He actually came out to say that he wasn't clearing anyone's name. So, in all honesty, he wasn't clearing it up. So there are some people that feel like he wasn't brave enough to come out and put a name on it. And that it can be seen that way. That could be somewhat true. And and they're saying, well, Derek, he had the bravery to do it, and Christian Keys didn't. Well, multiple things can be true at the same time. And I feel that unfortunately, even though he's getting roasted and blasted in a lot of these comment sections on these blogs, Derek, it's not just about the courage. I also believe it has to do with the privilege. Because when Christian Keys came out and said what he said, even though he didn't put a name on it, there honestly were a lot of people that were roasting him, that were making fun of him, that they were doing those things. I know there, that was not getting mainstream coverage, but it was happening. So if it were, and not even just to say if it were, because this is not the first time that a black man has come out to say that Tyler Perry has either been one inappropriate with them, and two that their career or job or something in some way, shape, or form was affected by Tyler Perry's power. And a lot of times, because I'm trying to remember that situation, who it was, because it was somebody that was not well known, but he came out with a lawsuit. I believe it was a lawsuit, if it wasn't just allegations. And a lot of people were saying that, oh, he's just trying to get a come up. He's lying. He's this, he's that, he's the other. And it was another black man. So it's not just about courage, it's also about privilege, okay? And also, those situations in the past where black men came out to say that Tyler Perry and his power were making them feel powerless with the moves that he was making, those situations were not getting mainstream coverage at all. They would have never done that for those people. But for Derek, 100%. You got it on all of the major networks and major online and print publications. This is breaking news, okay? So now I want to read something, and this is actually from the Hindustan Times. Okay. Tyler Perry is making headlines after being accused of sexual harassment, workplace gender violence, and sexual assault in a lawsuit by actor Derek Dixon, who is seeking at least 260 million in damages. However, this is not the first time Perry has come under fire. In a December 2023 Instagram live, so it wasn't last year, it was the year before, but you know what I mean. Christian Keyes, an actor and writer whose novel Ladies' Night was adapted into the BET Plus show All the Queen's Men, spoke out against alleged abuse he had faced, specifically referring to a powerful man in Hollywood who he accused of sexually harassing him. While Keyes did not name his alleged abuser, several internet sleuths speculated that he was talking about Perry. Perry employed Keyes in his stage plays Medea Goes to Jail, which I talked about earlier, and What's Done in the Dark, and also produced All the Queen's Men. What did he say? Key said in his video at the time that his abuser had several black people on a payroll. You get a grown A man that knows you're heterosexual, and you're sleeping off Hennessy in his guest room because he says it's safe. I'm 5 full Hennessy's down, and not short Hennessy's either. And this dude tries to climb in the bed with you, so you spaz out, push him out, Keith said while talking about the alleged sexual assault. Now, some may say, well, Derek, he just got that information for his lawsuit from Christian Key's video that he did in 2023. I would venture to say that it's, in my personal opinion, the guy is in line. And I actually believe that, yeah, he had to have some courage to kind of put this out there, but also the privilege of being taken seriously as a white man versus a black man. Because, yeah, even I did come out when he put that video out there in 2023 to say he needs to put a name on it or just kind of keep quiet about it. I wasn't saying that he should suppress the stuff that he went through or was going through, but I felt like he couldn't put something out there like that with so many context clues where it's like, who else could you really be talking about besides Tyler Perry? But you not say it's Tyler Perry, and then kind of, when you're asked questions, kind of insinuate you're not talking about him, but then come out to say, I'm not clearing anyone's name. So it's like, who are you actually talking about? Christian Keys, he has the he has the look of the type that I feel Tyler Perry is attracted to. Let's be clear. There's been this running joke about how he cast the dark skinned black men as the villains in his plays, in his shows, in his movies. And then you have the light saving grace man with the amazing body build, cuts and and all the other stuff, right? And that is the type that he is desiring. That's been the running joke. I'm just saying, I don't believe that just because Derek Dixon, decided to file a lawsuit that he didn't have some courage, but I also do believe that he had some privilege to go along with that. And if I could find that story about that black man that filed that lawsuit or just put the allegations out there about Tyler Perry before, I'll talk about it. If you guys remember, you let me know in the comments section. But when I did my commentary earlier and I was talking about the YouTuber who said many years ago that Tyler Perry was gay, and then later on, he came out to say that some goons were sent his way to beat him up, and he definitely believes that it had something to do, or Tyler Perry had something to do with his beatdown. And that YouTuber is Walter Lee Hampton the second, I believe his name is, but Walter Lee Hampton. He's a bodybuilder. He's got a higher pitch voice. I've been subscribed to him for many years now, honestly, and I like him. You can go and check his channel out. I'll actually see if I can find that actual video, but it may not still be up because that video he did was many years ago, and it's possible that he doesn't have it up anymore. I don't know. But if I can find that video, I will put the link to it in the description box. But yeah, it definitely the privilege of Derek to be able to come out, and I'm not saying because he has privilege, it means that he's lying. I actually believe the man is telling the truth, and I do believe that Tyler Perry, like many people who get into the industry and they have been, they have become successful and they achieve all these accolades and things like that, and they got the money upon money upon money, they do sometimes forget that they're black. They do sometimes forget that yeah, you might be in a position where you're able to get a whole lot of things that you want and you have the world as your oyster, but it doesn't mean that you actually can have everything and everyone that you want. And I heard someone ask the question, I don't understand why people like this, they have so much money and there are people who would be at their beck and call whenever they want if they would just pay them to do, what they would want them to do. It's not about that for these people. It's not just about pleasure, it's about power. It's about power. So I do believe that sometimes you get all in, your feelings and you're just so successful that you're high off of that and you forget that you really can't be doing this type of stuff with people. And honestly, I know some people are like, well, there was no penetration. He didn't say he RAPED'd him. It's just sexual harassment. The man was his employee. You can't do stuff like that. It is against the law. It is immoral. It's unethical. There are still employment laws in this nation. I know a lot of times some of these people who are in these executive positions, they do cross the line with people, and it happens more often than not. I'm not giving anyone any excuse for doing the things that they do. But for all of the speeches and all of the stuff that he does when he comes out to talk about you know, dream big and all the other stuff, all the inspirational and motivational stuff that he speaks about, right? It doesn't mean that he does not have a dark side. Okay. So I'm not telling people to stop supporting his stuff. The caught him or whatever. You do what you want to do. It's on you. And I'm not saying I'm boycotting him either. I never supported him that much where it's like, for me, it's like, oh my God, I really could care less. I'm just being honest about it. I haven't watched his new movie. It's not because I was boycotting it or whatever. I might still watch the movie. And honestly, it's just because maybe something I just want to waste some time and put it on and see, what happens in the movie. I already kind of know how things are going to end because it's a Tyler Perry production. But I'm just saying, just because he's good at a lot of other things and he's supportive of the black community in terms of hiring and all of the stuff that he does, it does not mean that he does not have a dark side. And I'm just saying, it's very fishy and suspicious. You just see someone, you're not a modeling agent. You just see this guy who has a serving company or he's working for a serving company and you decided that, hey, maybe he'll be good in one of my productions. What made you think that? Because he was serving food? No, you liked the way he looked. You were attracted to him, and that's what drew you in. I'm just saying, guys, we have to be honest. So all of the race stuff about here they go trying to tear a black man down. He got all these views and 24 hours on Netflix or whatever it is. Multiple things could be true at the same time, okay? But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. I want to know what you guys think about it because again, I'm not saying that he didn't have to have some sort of courage to come forward and file this lawsuit, but I also believe that yeah, he had the privilege to go along with it, so we have to be real about that as well because even though Christian Keys in my personal opinion was you know, he was very just vague with that video that he did. And then I heard that it was removed, but people still got it. I got the video. I'm just not choosing to play it right now, share it. But I'm just saying, I honestly believe that a lot of the big time outlets, if Christian Keys had come out and filed a lawsuit against Tyler Perry, it may have made some, it may have made some waves, but it wouldn't be like big time news had it not been somebody like this Derek Dixon guy. Seriously. So you guys let me know your thoughts.
Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.